Hello and welcome to today's FYI Message. I decided to take advantage of the fact that I preached last week and I'm doing the FYI this week, so I can really put into practice what it is I've been talking about right now. So, last Sunday, we talked about seeing God when things are going right in your life, and where is God and how do you notice Him. And right now, I would say that my life hasn't, in particular, been going right, but it hasn't been going poorly. Between September and March, I was probably the busiest I've ever been. I just signed up to too many things and I agreed to do too many things. And ever since late March, my life has really just slowed down. And that's something that I don't think I knew I needed as much as I did. I'm like, oh man, it sounds nice to have free time and nice to relax and spend some time with my wife and all these other things. But I didn't really know how important that was until I got it. And I go, what was I doing? What was I thinking? I was so focused on getting things done, I wasn't worried about what I was putting myself through to get there. And I would say I see God in this, and just the fact that I'm able to be home most days. And that's not necessarily something that I like. I don't like being stuck at home, sometimes feeling like I have nothing to do. But sometimes it's a blessing. I'm able to do things around the house that I've been wanting to do for a while. Doing kind of like odd jobs that make my life easier, that make me feel better, feel accomplished, even just a little bit. Like, man, I did something today. I wake up and I'm not exhausted. I go to bed, sometimes this isn't the best, and it takes me a little bit to fall asleep because I'm not exhausted. But I think my favorite is that I'm home more now in the evenings. I can spend more time with my wife, which was really important to me and something that I kept wanting but didn't really know how to do. And so I'm not saying that this is necessarily a time in my life when things are all going right, because they're not. The world outside is crazy. I don't have to tell you. You already know that. But I will say I've still been able to see God through this in the good things that have happened. Not the giant good things that have been happening, but just the small things in the day-to-day. And that's how I've been seeing God recently. This past week, I've really been seeing God outside. That's where I see God a lot. I see God in nature. I see God outside, which was really hard for me when I was in Chicago. I looked outside out my window. It was hard for me in Chicago because I didn't feel like there was an outside, so to speak. I could go out the door, but it wasn't the same as it was out here. And so I've really seen God in the changes of the sun and the temperature and how it's really hot, and sometimes it's really annoying, but also a blessing because we don't get it very often. And just in those small moments, when my day is going well and I'm happy, I can see God in those things. And I try to hold on to that. I try to see God every day because I know that He's there, and I think I've said this before. He's there every day. Maybe you don't see Him every day. That's okay. But you know that He's there. So I hope this week you were able to see God when things were going right. Maybe not in the big moments like the celebrations or looking back at the start of something, but even in the small moments too. And as the sermon series continues, we're going to keep seeing God in different environments, times where it's harder and harder to see God. Where is He in those times too? And I pray that you can see God when times are going well and when they aren't as well. And that you know that He is always there every day.